Russia moved what was left of its Black Sea fleet to Novorossiysk to keep it safe. This week, Ukraine hit that port with 15 different kinds of weapon in a single night. When Ukraine made Sevastopol too dangerous, Russia pulled its Black Sea fleet east to Novorossiysk. This week, that refuge stopped being one. In a single night, Ukraine struck the port with more than 15 different weapons at once: Neptune missiles, jet-powered drones, and unmanned boats coming in from the sea. Its general staff says 4 warships were damaged, among them the frigates Admiral Makarov and Admiral Essen. Independent analysts have not yet confirmed how badly. But the port itself is not in doubt. Fires burned at the Sheskharis oil terminal, 2 grain terminals were hit, and the city declared a state of emergency after its water supply was cut. 3 people were killed there, including a child. And Novorossiysk is not just a naval base. It is one of the most important places in the Russian economy. The Sheskharis terminal alone loads around a fifth of all the crude oil Russia sends out by sea. The 2 grain terminals damaged in the strike handle over 15 million tons a year, close to a third of the country's wheat exports. So this was not one target but 3, a fleet, an oil tap, and a breadbasket. The markets noticed within hours. Wheat prices rose about 3% in Chicago and Paris, and insurers began charging more to cover ships calling at Russian ports. Inside Russia, the effect of all this is now impossible to hide. Overnight, Ukrainian drones struck again at Salavat, in Bashkortostan, a Gazprom refining and petrochemical complex 1,300 kilometers from the border, and the second strike on that plant in a month. Russian refining has fallen to its lowest level since 2002. At least 16 regions are rationing fuel again, 30 liters a visit in places, with drivers allowed to fill up only on days matching their number plates. And at Orsk, hit 2 days earlier, the governor admitted the damage cannot be repaired quickly, because sanctions blocked the foreign equipment needed to do it. Russia's reply came, as it usually does, against civilians. It sent more than 130 drones overnight, and one of them, a jet-powered Shahid, hit the locomotive of a passenger train in the Odesa region. The driver and his assistant were killed. Behind them were 340 passengers, 67 of them children. All were evacuated safely. Hours later, a second train carrying 500 people was struck in the same region, wounding a child. Russia's losses climbed past 1,462,000 troops, with the drone tally now approaching 458,000. And on the ground, a rarer kind of news. 204 clashes were fought, with Pokrovsk still the hardest pressed. But Zelensky revealed that a quiet Ukrainian counteroffensive around Oleksandrivka has, since January, retaken 745 square kilometers and 26 villages across 3 regions. It is small against the size of this war, but it is ground moving the other way, for once. That wraps up today's update. If you found this useful, press the like button and subscribe in order to support this channel. Stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.